I've been privileged enough to be able to travel all around the world teaching and training gun dogs and teaching people how to train gun dogs. I believe we should say it the way it is, and we shouldn't fear the consequences from the governing bodies. Unfortunately, over the years, the governing bodies, like the Kennel Club, have tried to dictate what we can say and what we can do when training dogs. I was not anti-Kennel Club. For a number of years, I believed that the Kennel Club was the structure, the glue, keeping the gun dog world as well as the pet world together. The more knowledge, the more understanding, and the way the Kennel Club have gone, the Kennel Club, in my opinion now, are not fit for purpose. It's as simple as that. As soon as you put your head above the parapet, you're going to be shot at. The Kennel Club will close ranks on you. The people who are affiliated with the Kennel Club will close ranks against you. It's the same as BASC. I took them on, not because I was looking to cause trouble, but I wanted to defend the right to train dogs the way I see fit, as long as it's not cruel. They try to turn the debate that I never started, but the hate mob started, by putting a video on one of their sites. All I did was defended that right to train the way I see fit. And a lot of shooting people came to my aid and said, that's how we've trained dogs for years. He is doing nothing wrong with the way he's training that dog. You people don't know what you're talking about. Go away. And it caused a massive rift. This is what's happening in the Kennel Club. If you speak out against Kennel Club practice and you're an affiliated member of the Kennel Club, I've judged for the Kennel Club under club rules, under Kennel Club rules. I've run my dogs under the same criteria. There has to be rules, there has to be boundaries. And the boundaries are set by guidelines from the Kennel Club. You have a right to appeal against that at committee level, and then the committee, if they want to, can put that through to the Kennel Club and try and get the rules amended. The problem is they're more interested on these committees of looking after themselves after people. They're not interested in the dog world. And what I'm out for is for the dogs. I want the dogs to have the best training they can have. I want the kindest training that they can have. But I also realise on certain situations you have to step up and you have to use discipline. As soon as you use the word discipline, certain people think cruelty. As simple as that. So I'm going out of my way to show you that I didn't used to be anti-Kennel Club. Let me prove it. This is pulled out of my portfolio going back 20 years, look, 2001. I actually took the Kennel Club Good Citizens Gold Scheme and was tested by the Carradine District Animal Welfare Officer, Mr. Darren Berry, in 2001. And the reason that I did this was I didn't do it because I wanted prestige that I've passed the gold award. What I wanted to do is set the example that I can do the bronze, silver and gold. Now, the bronze and silver, an organ grinder's monkey could do it, could pass this. The gold is more complicated, and it should be. And if you're going to get a certificate or you're going to get an award, then it should be deserved. It shouldn't just be given out like Smarties. Unfortunately, it's become a commercial, money-orientated recruiting aid. It brings in money for your club, your organisation. I believe that this was set up in the first place to improve the standard of dog training, when it went in a completely different direction, because people said, right, if I get onto this scheme, I can make money out of this because I can get people coming back week in and week out for training. and then I can give them an award. And when you give them an award after so many weeks, that gives them the enthusiasm to come back and get the next one and the next one. I think it took it away from its original purpose to get the standard of dog training higher. I think that any examiner or any tester of the Good Citizens scheme should take the test themselves before testing other people. As simple as that. But it got hijacked by the church organs that said, well, this is great, this will bring people in through the door. It wasn't taken up by the serious dog people, especially in the gun dog world. So why did I decide to go down this road over 20 years ago? It's because I wanted to improve the standard of the trainers out there. I think that you should have had accreditation. You should have proved yourself in the field. You should have built yourself a portfolio, and you should then be awarded accreditation for what you've achieved. So to gain the highest level of accreditation, you have had to prove yourself that you've won stuff, you've taught people, you've got results, you've done exams, and that would make you a qualified teacher. But unfortunately, at the time when this was in its infancy, nobody in the gun dog world wanted to take it up because they said we're going to be dictated to by the Kennel Club. And the more rules we listen to, the more rules we'll have to obey. This is why I've now pulled away from the Kennel Club, is because I now believe the Kennel Club are promoting this for their own gain, and it's all to do with money rather than the principle, what they wanted it to be there for in the first place. People are getting these accredited status like giving out Smarties. As long as you pay your membership and you enter the contract with the Kennel Club, then you can play their game and use their power. That's what they're working on. You can use their sales ability to push yourself and say, I'm a Kennel Club accredited training instructor. When I was going for accredited training instructor, it was also in its infancy, and I worked at it for 5 years before applying for accreditation, because I was told to build up a portfolio, gain the knowledge and understanding that you needed in other areas to make you one of the top trainers out there working for the Kennel Club. But what they did, they set the criteria and then kept changing it. And they kept changing it, and they now say they've got it better. But at the time, the criteria did not suit being governed by the Kennel Club, because the Kennel Club say that everything can be done by positive and positive only training. I disagree, but I stand by what I say. I was fully in support of being regulated by a governing body, but the more I looked into it, the more I studied it, the more I used preparation to get myself to that level of accreditation, the more flawed I saw it was. People were getting accredited with very little knowledge and information because they wanted numbers to come on board. This is not taken off like they said it was going to, or they thought it was going to. It's at very slow uptake, but what's happening, it's been taken up by people wanting to get on the bandwagon and make money. If you're good at what you do, people should find you and use you. If you're no good at what you do, just because you're an accredited training instructor for the Kennel Club does not mean you know what you're talking about. There are so many areas in dog training that some of these people have never been there, never looked at. With over 30 years of knowledge, understanding, studying, and getting out there and training dogs, I am still learning from this day. It is a never-ending learning curve. And just because you've been in this game or you've been to college and you've done 2 years, that does not mean that you can train dogs.